guys can share it among yourselves, right?
Yeah.
So I will go back and I'll share the screen again here. Okay. And so this is basically some muffins, green tea, and it's the same thing every day. So I was thinking in terms of a robot, if they would just have, if you guys would have something that would just serve this kind of stuff every
Yeah.
day. I live in a senior community. We have 370 homes in our senior community.
Yep.
And if we had some way to basically service these people, people can't make this stuff. It takes me an hour to prepare the muffins.
Yeah.
And but then it's good for a week. I mean, a month.
Sure.
I could prepare the muffins and I could batch them. I can prepare
Yep.
them, freeze them. They're good for a month. The fruit salad, I have to prepare every day.
Yep.
And so this is a fruit salad with nuts and soy yogurt and
Yep.
so that's sort of my mid-morning snack. So this is breakfast, mid-morning snack, and then dinner. My dinner is the salad. I'll eat like what you guys are doing.
Yep.
And this is a dressing, or some people call it a chili, some people call it dressing. I mix these two things together. As long as you keep these two things separate, this green salad lasts at least 5 days, and I've eaten it as many as 8 days later.
Wow.
And this stuff will keep, you can freeze it, you can keep it for a long, long time. So you can batch it up, prepare it well in advance. So for me, if I could find somebody that would provide this stuff to me, and I was going to talk to, my plan was to actually go and talk to Sioux Plantation and talk to the financiers of the Sioux Plantation and say, hey, here's what you need to do. You can provide this. And I know a lot of people that would love to have this every day.
So this would be, I mean, other than the muffins, everything you have on and the tea, everything you have on this line, Ken, we can dispense all this from the robot.
Right, right. But the thing is that it takes time to dispense it, and it is well, if you look at all the ingredients, okay,
Yeah.
I'll show you quickly the ingredients here. This is the Supreme salad.
Uh-huh.
And it's got some things that you got to cook it. It's a blend of various beans, lentils, all that kind of stuff.
But this is no more work than putting together any kind of meal service.
Right, right. It's just that what's really unique about this is that it is complete nutrition. So
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So I mean, having a robot that could dispense everything on that picture in bowls, we can totally do this.
Yeah.
So, and we've now started to deploy at some senior living communities.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good
Down
deal.
in LA, we deployed at the Motion Picture Television Fund.
Okay.
And then up here in San Francisco, we deployed at the San Francisco Jewish Retirement Community.
Good.
So the key, if you wanted to help get our robot into your community, the key for me is to know who's running the food program at that community.
We have no food program. So this is a senior community of manufactured homes. Okay. So we have 372 here. Our sister community has got 454, and then we have another sister community of about 120. So there's well over 1,000, or pretty close to 1,000 homes in these three communities, and it's basically independent living. Everybody's independent living, but when you look at the people that are here, they are really struggling to get decent food. So
is there a dining hall or anything like that in the community?
Yeah. So we have a clubhouse in the center, and each of these communities have a clubhouse. Yep. And there's a little kitchen area, and there's a place where a dining area and that kind of stuff.
Do they serve meals, 3 meals a day in that place?
No, typically it's only for events.
Okay, so you don't have any continuing food service in the community. You guys are on your own to make your own food. Yeah,
but the thing is, what I end up doing is I invariably invite people over. And I say, hey, check this out, try this out. And invariably, everybody likes the muffins. For some reason, The muffins are so easy to eat, and they have 10 grams of protein, 10 grams of fiber, and 200 about 200 calories each. And it's the most chock full nutritionally you can get into this little tiny packages. But what I was wondering is there a way that you guys can put together in the robot, either, I don't want to wait for a robot to go and manufacture all these things. I was watching the robot, it's got to turn styles and all that kind of stuff. I just want to go up there, say, give me the salad, boom, I got it, and walk away.
That's what would happen. That's exactly how a robot works, Ken.
Well, but in the videos, you actually showed this person picking out this.
You can, that's only, so there's two different ways to get a meal from the robot.
Okay.
Typically what we would have, if I take your meal here as an example, you would approach the robot, or you can do this on your smartphone, and those bowls would be right there. What do you call the one in the middle with the fruit?
That's a mega fruit salad.
Okay, so you would be able to pick mega fruit salad.
Right.
Then you were able to you would pick Ken's green salad.
It's supreme salad, but yeah.
Okay, so you would have those two bowls on the screen, and if you touch that, that's what gets dispensed. That exact recipe.
But then how long does it actually take to get dispensed?
Minute and a half.
Yeah.
Most.
So I'm not going to stand around a machine for a minute and a half. I would like to just be able to walk up there and just say, punch the button, pops out with the finished salad.
Yeah.
Isn't there, I mean, that's like another vending option in your thing, which is basically a stack of all these things in the queue, and it just basically just said, push this out.
So we would call that a compound ingredient. Like if we had your fruit salad all mixed up and put into one canister, and it just dispensed as one ingredient, you'd still wait, 15 seconds, 20 seconds to get that bowl built. Okay. But a minute and a half is not very long. I mean, and that's the longest it would take. Sometimes it's under a minute.
So for me to put the salad together every day takes about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I grab it out of this big bowl, grab it, put it in there, and then it's off. I'm running. I'm done. So So, but I can appreciate it. Minute and a half is way better than anything else. For me to make this whole salad takes me about an hour to make it once a week. So I spend, out of 168 hours a week, I take 1 hour just to make this salad.
Got it. So again, if the goal was to make these, really nutritious CRON meals available to the people in your community, our robot can do this, but someone has to prep all the ingredients and put them in the robot. Right. And typically we rely on an existing kitchen operation that is already, building out a salad bar or, plated food service to do that work.
Got it.
So without those resources, this gets difficult. What we have done in some places that don't have on-premise kitchens with staff is we found a local catering company that can refill the robot.
Yeah, and so what happens is, so since this is a senior community, we have all sorts of, it's a low-income senior community, supposed to be, right? And so I think 20 or 30% of the people in our community are low income, like barely making ends meet, and so we end up having churches and other things that basically provide a food service like once a week to provide one meal. So at least somebody gets one meal a week. But it would be great to have some robots in there that would just be fully stocked to just keep on stocking those things. And, since what I tried to do is I tried to make these things set up so that they last. So you can, except for the fruit salad, I haven't figured out exactly how long that will last yet. I could probably push it for a couple of days, but
for health department reasons, all the ingredients that we put in the robot, which include every ingredient you have in your menus here, we've dispensed all of these. We have predetermined shelf life durations.
Okay.
And when you load that ingredient into the robot, that timer resets to 0. And let's say that shelf life is 48 hours in the case of fruit. At 48 hours, we will disable all the menus that include that specific ingredient. They'll disappear from the user interface.
Got it.
If there's still ingredients left over after you've hit through the expiration window.
Got it.
So we have data for every ingredient in all your meals here and what the expiration would be. And the shortest is typically 48 hours, but some can go up, you know, like some can go up to a week before, you know, they get expired.
How long does lettuce typically last? Like
3 days.
3 days? Okay.
72 hours is the default for almost all lettuce types.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's interesting. Okay. So I'm pushing it for my own self. I'm pushing 5 to 8 days for myself, and I'm just like, it gets kind of bad after 5 days. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's kind of weak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
you'll start to grow some bacteria for sure.
Okay.
And one of the advantages of our robot is that, you know, unlike a salad bar, for example, where the ingredients on the top of the bin are exposed to ambient air temperature, we're holding everything literally just above freezing on a continuous basis. It never, you know, goes above, you know, a few degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Or let's say, you know, 30, 35, 38 degrees Fahrenheit. Everything is held within that range.
Got it. So one of the things that I find is getting complete nutrition is an educational process.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have a robot there, and you see these people go on there. Oh, I like this, I like that. Okay, I don't like this, I don't like that. Well, like and dislike is a learned experience. It's an emotional response, right? So what I'm trying to get away from are people saying, oh, I don't like this ingredient. I say, well, okay, you don't like tomatoes? Well, you're not going to get any lycopene. You're not going to get any, you know, all these different things. You don't like broccoli. Okay, then you're not going to get, you know, sulforaphane. You're not going to get these other things in there. It's like you really have to put the whole program together. And I don't know if you guys ever thought about putting it into your menu-driven system, which basically has a, let me show you a CRON. Here's a CRON output. And so the CRON output, here's all your menu items here.
Yeah.
You see that? And then you scroll down and you say, well, how are you doing in terms of protein, fat, carbs, and all that kind of stuff? Your basal metabolic rate and how many calories you got. But it also shows you how much fat you have, right? So this is the total fat. This is the total protein. So I have to have, turns out I have to have 55 to 60 grams of protein a day. And also all of your other minerals and vitamins. So this is just, for me, it's a tool. It's a tool that I had to use to get to the point of complete nutrition. Without this kind of a tool in place, and this is basically a guy up in Canada put together the chronometer, and you can go there free and access it at will. And I end up sending him. He asked for a subscription. I said, okay, fine, $35 a year, every year, no problem. I mean, for the data he provides me from how good I feel, this is wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
So what we do in the robot is we're tracking the macronutrients, protein, fat, carbohydrates.
This is the first line.
And calories, right? But we don't go to the level of detail on the nutrients that you have here. Technically, we could, but we don't. We run out of room on the user interface to display this much information. So when you build a meal on the robot, if you're doing the pick the ingredients you like thing, it is updating, you know, the macronutrients in real time in front of you, and you know what you're getting from that perspective before you ever dispense the bowl.
But the macronutrients I find are completely insufficient. For example, you know, I had no idea, had no clue that I was missing selenium and zinc my entire life. And because of the zinc loss, I do a lot of exercise. So I lost a lot of zinc in the process. And the reason for the gray hair is you lose zinc, you also lose copper. So I have very, very low copper in my body, low zinc in my body. So now what I've done is I've actually had to fix that up. And I find out that if I have complete nutrition, it's there. And you won't know about it until 10, 20 years later. I have hearing loss because I didn't have enough zinc in my diet.
Interesting.
So and it's 20 years before you find this out. It's
Sure.
like, oh my God, if I would have only known. Well, now we know this. If you go to read Dr. Walford's book and you read through all the science behind it and everything, and go to the biosphere and all that kind of stuff, it's really enlightening.
Yeah.
And all of these not micro ingredients, I guess they're micro. There'd be nano ingredients would be the next level down, but
Yeah.
at least this gives you all of the details that you need. People don't get enough vitamin B12. They don't get enough D. It's like all these different things. They get the micronutrients, protein, fat, and carbs. That's totally insufficient.
Yep. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Okay. So if you go to my website, the website is ken.excessprofits.com.
Yep.
If you click on that, if you basically put that in, it's a redirector. It redirects you to my website, which is here. And you go to the health section, and you can go and find out various diets.
Yeah.
And you can click on this, and you can come down here, and you can look at the detailed report of all the different diets. They may say you got the right protein, fat, and carbs, but when you look at the micro ingredients, it ain't there. It doesn't cut it. Or you say, okay, I've got my protein, and this looks at all the different diets, right?
Sure.
So it looks at the CRON diet, it looks at the
sure.
Atkins diet, all the different ones. And so you go look at the first phrase here, and it says in the supplements area, it actually tells you what the diet is, and then it shows you what the micronutrients look like.
And you got a lot of deficiencies there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's the worst. The worst is the paleo thing. Oh my God, it is absolutely horrendous. People that try to push the protein way up there and they suffer on the carbs. Oh my God, it's terrible. So anyway, make a long story short, you got to get to the complete nutrition for the longevity. And if there's something I can do for you guys to help you guys out, any way, shape, or form, I'm there. I'll do what I can to help you. And at the same time, if I can figure out a way, now you've given me an idea. I'm going to try to go and find somebody that will put the food into that kind of a vending machine in our community.
Yeah, because for us, Ken, we sell robots. We don't dictate what food people put in them. They get to decide that themselves.
Yeah.
So if we found someone that wanted to feature a CRON diet in our robot, we would happily collaborate with them to execute that kind of a menu in our robot.
Okay.
But we need someone that is going to provide and prepare the food and refill the robot on a regular basis with those ingredients. But if we found that, piece of the puzzle, we could definitely do this.
Okay. So maybe I should contact the soup plantation folks. I mean, they basically had all of the infrastructure in place to handle all the handling issues, right?
Yeah.
So are you familiar with soup plantation?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So
are they still around though?
No, they went belly up, and even my grandkid called me up and said, "Grandpa, we can't go to the soup plantation anymore. They went bankrupt." It's like, oh my God, here's this kid. He's 7 years old and he's missing it.
Yeah, I know. So what are those guys doing now? Do you know?
So I know they're funded by like a venture group out of New York. And there was a CEO. The company was down here in
Southern California,
near Poway, I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah.
Rancho Bernardo. And I didn't contact him. I should have contacted him, and I felt bad. But between the COVID and everything else that was changing, I mean, I had so many balls going in the air at one time. I had to take care of those first. So now it's like, okay, I really, really want to get this stuff done. And if I can, help somebody else do it.
We dispense soups in our robot.
Okay.
So if they wanted to revive those products and feature
soup plantation, I didn't use a couple of their soups. Most of them are too salty for me. But most of it was a salad bar. I love their salad bar.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I could come close. I was within about I got about 90% of the way to CRON. I couldn't get all the way. There's some things that were missing from their
Sure.
salad bar. But you guys with the robot, it's whatever you fill in your hoppers. So
Exactly, and that's up
the
to
individual.
that's up to you, the customer, what you put in there. We don't dictate that.
Right. Okay. All right. So let me make some phone calls and see what I can find out around here. See if I can find some way to get a robot in place, because we have the space. We have the space in our clubhouses to be able to do that.
And all you need is a 15 amp wall outlet.
15 amp wall outlet, and then we need to have somebody filling it up. And, so
we need someone with a health department approved kitchen that can prepare the food and replenish the canisters with the ingredients.
Health department.
That would be any cafeteria or commercial restaurant, caterer. They'll all have that.
So what we've had over the last 4 or 5 years is we have catering trucks come in.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have catering trucks come in. I assume they're health approved.
So this is another option. So we have customers that do this. They have a kitchen off premise somewhere else.
Okay.
Where they prep the ingredients. They'll put them in the canisters that go into the robot, and then they drive out to the location where the robot is, remove the empty canisters, put in new full canisters, take the empties back to that central kitchen, and repeat that process over and over.
Got it.
So if you have food trucks, I guarantee you they have some health department approved kitchen behind them where they're getting all the ingredients prepped for the day.
Got it.
That go into the truck. Yeah. If you can get one of those guys to sign up to replenish the robot, that could be a solution.
Got it. Okay. All right. I will see what I can find out. That would be great. All right. I got some work to do. I didn't think about going down that path, but okay. I was hoping to be able to just do it here, but you bring some very good issues up about health department approved. I had we do it sort of ad hoc. We have a,
and that's fine,
potluck kind of a thing, and it's like, but no, you really can't do that.
Right. You end up putting something in there that's got salmonella, and then somebody in the community gets sick, and there's liability. You've got to have that covered, and that's what a health department certified kitchen provides, that coverage.
Yeah. And then so you have the kitchen that's all approved, and then so now you put it on a truck and then you deliver it to somebody. So now somebody's going to fill that up with the hoppers, right? The canisters.
The hoppers can be in the truck already pre-filled in the kitchen.
But then is there any kind of issue with contamination at that point?
No.
That I have to worry about? Specialized handling?
No, the food it's very simple. I mean, we have hourly workers that don't speak English that refill these robots all the time. I mean, it's really straightforward. Okay. So even filling the canisters and cleaning them is very simple.
Okay.
Very easy to do. So I'm the food guy. I got the commercial kitchen that's health department approved. I just put the canisters in my truck. I drive out to your community. I replace the canisters in the robot with new ones. It takes 15 minutes. And then I spend the rest of the day serving you guys from my truck. Then I go back to the kitchen with my empty canisters. That night or the next morning, I refill those and get ready to repeat that process the next day. It would be pretty straightforward.
Too bad you guys didn't team up with the Soup Plantation. Oh, that would have been. I wonder if since you're the CEO there, I wonder if I'll try to find the contact information. Maybe you could talk CEO to CEO, ex-CEO, I guess. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, I would love to, if we could revive that brand in the robot. So we sell robots with other people's brands on them all the time.
Well, I think the brand is probably kaput. I mean, they basically said
but people know it still.
Yeah.
You know it. Your grandson knows it.
Yeah.
So even though the restaurants are gone, if you were walking through the airport, for example, and you saw a Soup Plantation branded machine served there,
we would be lining up.
Exactly.
We would be lining up.
We do this with other salad brands. In fact, we do it with consumer packaged good brands. right? We can run a breakfast cereal menu featuring Kellogg's breakfast cereal and have the robot branded Kellogg's.
Got it.
We do all this stuff.
Got it.
So if the remains of Soup Plantation is still there, and we could do a robotic version of their restaurants. I mean, think of our robot as a micro restaurant. It's
right. Oh yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
a little tiny restaurant.
Right. So
And
what they tried is over here is it was actually doing pretty well. So they actually tried some drive up things or some sort of
delivery. I know. The
and
problem
that
is
didn't quite work.
the problem is a concept like that. Sweet tomatoes was the same thing. I mean, there was a whole bunch of them. I mean, it's the self-serve. Take what you want, don't take what you don't want. That experience is what defined the brand.
Yeah.
And you can't do pre-made meals if that was the experience that defined the brand, was the customized build your own meal. Our robot allows you to build a customized build your own meal.
Yeah, yeah. So how much capacity do each of these robots have? My salad, I saw that you guys, I found one video that said you guys actually have you have a small side salad and then you have the dinner salad. The dinner salad is 2 pounds. And it's like,
it's not that big.
That's what mine is, 2 1/4.
So we typically, most of our menus now are dispensing into a 32-ounce bowl. I don't know what the weight, it depends on what's in the bowl. Obviously, the weight varies substantially.
So I figured 32 ounces, that's 2 pounds. That's perfect for me.
But that's the volumetric, that's the volume of the bowl. That's
Wet.
32 ounce volumetric, not weight.
Yeah, but that's probably 32 ounces wet. That's water.
Again, if you fill it up with liquid, it's going to weigh 2 pounds. But if you've got, low density greens like romaine in there, it's going to weigh way less.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
so this particular one here, is a huge bowl. This I don't know what size of bowl you would actually have, but when you mix all those ingredients together, including that dressing, you've got 2.5 pounds.
Yeah, you got a hearty meal. Yeah.
Yeah, you're full. And few people could eat it, but man, that's really good.
So we typically, depending on the serving size and the menu that we're running, the robot will typically hold between 40 and 60 bowls before it needs to be replenished.
40 and 60 bowls. 40 and 60 bowls, but you're saying that the bowl is probably maybe a pound of material inside.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know. It depends on the menu.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's about what we can hold before we run out of ingredients.
You said 40 to 50? 40
to 60.
Yeah. So I'd cut that in half probably for one of just for this one salad here. Just for the one salad here. This salad here. You'd probably only be able to hold 20 of them in there probably. Yeah,
maybe. I mean, to me it looks like we could hold a lot more than that, but we'd have to know for sure.
You got to see it in the person's hands.
Exactly. Yeah, that picture may be a bit deceiving for sure.
So this is a quart-sized bowl. This is 2 quart-sized bowl.
But all that, even if you have a big meal like this and you can only dispense 30, all that means is you've got to change your canisters out more than once a day.
Right.
I mean, we have certain locations that sell 150 bowls a day out of the robot. They're replacing the canisters more than once a day, but if they've got the infrastructure to do that, that's no problem.
So is there a way, because the big one is all the lettuces, right? The lettuces take up huge volume and the broccoli takes up huge volume.
Right. So typically, when we optimize the canister, what we call the canister, we may end up with 3 canisters full of lettuce and 2 full of broccoli.
I see.
So we try and optimize it such that all the ingredients in ratio to one another are used up simultaneously. So you end up with no food waste and you maximize the number of bowls you can produce from one load.
Got it. So I saw somewhere that it was about $750 lease payment per month.
That's we typically sell them, Ken.
Oh, you do now? Okay.
Yeah.
It sounded like when I saw the original one, it was actually a lease deal.
Yeah, there isn't a lease deal. I mean, we do have a third-party leasing company, and quite frankly, no one has ever done it that way. It gets too complicated. There's a lot of paperwork. There, you got to be credit checked and blah blah blah. Yeah. I mean, today we're just selling the robots for $35,000.
$35,000?
Yep. It's not an inexpensive machine. So a lot of technology in there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So my brain is trying finance here all different ways. So it's like I said, we're a senior community, and it's it's run by a nonprofit organization, and it's typically low income.
Yeah.
So
So if you found a food truck guy and he could sell more than 10 bowls a day, he could make money on a $35,000 investment. And I can show him how.
and so what kind of price is it for a salad like this kind of a thing?
So it depends. You know, we see people price them anywhere from $5.99 literally up to $16.99. And we got some customers that run lobster salads.
So I went to Whole Foods one time, and I came out with tried to mash this salad.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was $22.
Yeah, right. So, you know,
Whoa!
I would say typical price point for a salad like I see in the picture here would be $6.99, maybe $7.99 if you have some protein in there, some chicken or something like that.
Yeah, the protein is all beans.
Okay, so
beans, legumes.
Right. So this is probably a fairly inexpensive menu from an ingredient perspective.
Yeah.
So let's say if you price it at $6.99 and it's a fairly low cost set of ingredients, which are the dominant piece of the cost side of the equation, if you sell 12 bowls, 15 bowls a day, you're way over break even. You're making money.
Okay.
And if you sold over 30 bowls a day, that $35,000, that would pay off in a year or less.
Yeah.
So some entrepreneurial food truck guy that comes to your community, and we've done this. We have a food truck guy in Texas that's doing this exact same thing. He's buying robots. He drives his food truck out there every day, replenishes the ingredients, leaves the robot. It's open 24 hours a day, and he's making money.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife just returned a leased electric car, a Chevy Bolt. The Bolt listed originally at $35,000.
Yeah, I remember.
She leased it for $220 a month.
That was that special deal that GM did on that. I remember.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my God! So if we could get a $35,000 finance thing and pay $220 a month, this might be viable. I'd have to see how that would.
Well, the other way to do it is to find somebody who's coming to your community delivering food.
Yeah.
And they buy the robot. They put the robot in your community. They replenish it. You guys don't pay anything except for you pay for the bowls.
Good point. Good point. So that's the other extreme. So yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and we literally have partners, customers that do this.
So do you have any in the San Diego vicinity?
Yeah, you want to go to Major Market in Escondido. You'll see one in the grocery store.
Major Markets?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a storefront, right?
It's a grocery store.
Yeah, but then who's the one that supply? Are they the suppliers of the materials?
Yeah. So every grocery store has a kitchen because they used to do their salad bars. They do all their roasted chickens and buffet stuff.
Oh.
So they have kitchens.
So we have an Albertsons Vaughn's right across the street from us here.
Yeah, that's the second biggest grocery store chain in the country is Albertsons. Oh. And we are not in all the Albertsons stores yet, but I would love to be at some point.
So the key is that the only thing they have to, so I need to have them be the source of the materials.
Sure.
And this is fabulous. They're literally across the street. I mean, it's wonderful.
Right. So they definitely have a health department approved kitchen in Albertsons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So again, in your area, if you wanted to go see one of the robots live, probably the closest one is again that one in Escondido. And
that's at the Major Markets?
It's called Major Market. If you just look up Major Market Escondido on Google, it'll give you the address.
Okay. I can find it.
Yeah. But that one's doing really well. It's right by their deli.
Oh, okay, cool. Wow, that's great. It sounds like you guys are on a great trip here, man. This is going to be really, really fabulous. I'm very excited for you guys.
Yeah, well, if you track someone down, Ken, that as an entrepreneur, or ask that, talk to the deli manager at Major Market and say, hey, would you mind putting a robot in my community?
Yeah.
And have your guys come out and replace the food every day? Who knows? They may say yes.
Oh man, this is really great. Yeah. So we have actually contacts with our local farmers markets too here.
Yeah.
And they were asking me for some ideas on how they were actually plowing vegetables back in the ground when COVID hit initially.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable. And they were asking me, he said, Ken, what can we do with all these vegetables? We can't sell them.
I know. It was tragic.
Oh my God. It was horrible. It was horrible. So, okay. All right, Rick, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure
fabulous,
talking to you.
Man.
Yeah, I'm glad Rich introduced us.
Yeah, I will send you the link to a video, and then you could share it among your people over there.
Yeah, please do.
If you want to send it out further than that, I will leave it up to you.
Sure. And then if you find somebody that can service a robot in your community, I will happily, work with that company to show them how they can make money and provide, the folks in your community with CRON meals.
Excellent. Excellent. Great.
All right,
thanks,
Ken.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you very much.
See ya.
Catch you later. Bye.